You guys know what's up. I'm interviewing the Bushka in today's video, but guys, also, I got a surprise for you. My partners over at Mobile Gaming Core have contacted me and said, Goonie, we want to celebrate our partnership with a giveaway. So they've supplied me with a case of your choice, a phone case of your choice from MGC Mobile or Mobile Gaming Core. This one is the Valor case. But the POWERBANG edition, obviously, which is really awesome. So if you have a phone that fits any of the cases on the site, you can get that as your prize if you win. Also, they'll be giving away a couple pair of these brand new claw socks that they just came out with. So that's three prizes, three chances to win, guys. And to find out how to win, I'll be putting another video somewhere in the middle of this thing. So stay tuned. What's going on, Goonies? In today's interview, I have got the Australian amazing Bushka with me today. And Bushka, how are you doing, amigo?
I am. If I was any fitter, I'd be a danger to shipping, Goon. Let's do this thing.
A danger to I got you, amigo. Well, guys, look, we're going to have some fun today in this interview. We're going to talk to Bushka and ask him some other questions besides PUBG Mobile questions. Obviously, some of you guys will want some of those, and I threw a couple in. But other than that, let's get to know Bushka on a different level. So, Bushka, early days of Bushka, interest. What were you into? What was
Uh,
young Bushka up to?
oh, young Bushka was just a waxhead, mate. Used to surf, play basketball. Ended up playing a bit of guitar, getting around the traps, doing my best to, go out on a Saturday night and have a shag. I was just a simple
Mm.
man doing simple things. But that was me. Now look at me.
Hey,
Bald as a
hey,
peanut. And
that's
anyway, keep going.
that's that, those are those are good interests. It sounds like for a young
Yeah,
Bushka. I
young
would
Bushka was
definitely
all over
expect
it.
no less.
I hope we weren't talking about really young Bushka because I was definitely not doing that like at 9 and 10. I was thinking more about,
No, no.
20-year-old Bushka, that kind of stuff. Love to surf, love to game
Right.
a ball. This is going to go for a long time if I take this long to answer that. Let's keep going. Okay, you do more. You do
Well,
the interview.
well, I did the interview.
So good.
Okay.
How did that make you feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I felt really great about it. I could
Yeah.
actually see that picture. And matter of fact, the young Bushka's tweet the other day with the rotary
Oh,
phone.
dude, that was
Uh,
crazy, hey.
yeah,
Do you
that
remember
brought it
making
back to me when
mixtapes?
you.
Do you remember making mixtapes?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yes,
man.
yes. Yeah, indeed, indeed. So now, with that being said, we got this picture. You guys, if you have not seen that tweet, go back to Twitter, check it out on Bushka. But when did you get into video games, Bushka? Like, what
Oh, mate,
uh,
I'll tell
the
you right now,
age?
early. At about 4 years of age, I remember playing Pong on the back TV. My uncle sold Pong
Right.
sets, and it was a black and white spare television in the back room. That would have been like 1977. And I remember playing with the paddles. Used to play Pong, just the thing would go up, thing would go down on one side, I'd go ding, 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 ding. And it
Are
was
we
like,
talking
oh,
Atari?
no, before Atari. This is like the
Before
whole set.
Atari.
Go and look it up. These things are like collector's items now. They're called Pong, and it was just ping pong, right? And the only thing it did
Right.
was play that one game, black and white, one big long rectangle on this side, one big long rectangle on this side, and a little square ball that went between them, and it sped up the faster and longer you went. That was Pong. That was my first ever remember. It's the first thing I
Wow.
remember as a video game. So I've been hooked for a
And
long time.
now, yeah. So yeah, I was going to say, and my next question was, what was the first game that hooked you? But obviously, it's Pong,
Pong, baby.
and that is dude. That's a long time ago.
This
I
isn't my
mean, I
first
was
rodeo, good.
no. I was an Atari guy. I mean, for
I
me,
love the
it was
Atari
about
too.
Atari.
River Raid,
Yeah,
big
yeah,
game,
like
big game. River Raid, Berserk, loved them all.
Berserker. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
games.
All right. So that's more of what I'd consider ancient console. So
Yeah,
you would say maybe you were into console gaming before
yeah.
mobile.
Well, the first console I had was a thing called Intellivision, which was like
Yep,
some
yep,
Atari knockoff, which was like a round
yep.
disc. And I used to play Red Baron, which was like a playing game, which is again just more rectangles slowly going around a screen. Big rectangle
Yeah.
guy. And that's what PUBG Mobile is. It's just boxes that move and have numbers. And I think that's one of the reasons
Mm,
why I've always loved games is the numbers. The
the
getting
numbers.
a formula that would mean you could like the perfect way on Dig Dug or Pac-Man to go through a maze and things like that. I've always been pretty OCD about that kind of stuff, and video games really appeal to that side of me.
Right. Well, true. Well, all right. With that being said, like what was the thing that got you into content creation? Because like we know, like, or no, wait. Let me back up.
Yeah, yeah.
What got you to transition from console necessarily to mobile? What game, or what was there a catalyst? Was it a
If there
game?
was a
Was it
catalyst, it's called having kids. You can't
okay?
sit
All
at
right.
home.
Well,
Hi, hun. I'm home. Don't mind me. I'm just buggering off to the top studio where the man cave is, and I'm going to sit there playing my PlayStation for the next 4 hours. Good luck with that. No. Uh, Mobile freed me to be able to play video games on the toilet. Like, I mean, the dead
hey,
legs. Dead legs.
hey.
Who hasn't who hasn't nailed Clash of Clans while sitting on the loo? Come on, Goon, tell me about
This
it.
guy,
That's right.
this guy.
It's got two
Hey,
thumbs
buddy,
up and
two
has
stars.
no feeling in their legs. That's right. And no,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what it
true.
was. That's what it was. Like basically, mobile gaming freed me up to be able to play when I had time.
Wow.
And that's not something that you can do with
And
a console.
wherever,
Yeah, exactly.
wherever you
Exactly.
were, like
Exactly.
being able just to, like you said, in the toilet, or if you had a few minutes at work, or if you're in the car waiting on your kids to get out of school. I mean,
Exactly.
boom.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so the jump to content creation from mobile gaming, like what sparked that? What was the
Well,
catalyst?
that was, it felt really easy. I've always been a guy that's been a bit of an extrovert when it comes to, like, I mean, I've never been shy. So I played in
You
bands.
you an extrovert? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I met you. You're such a shy guy.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been around desperately seeking attention for a long time now. And
Mm,
this was
mm,
like a platform that I could yell and ramp and jump and scream about. But to be honest, the main thing about it was I love sports as well. And if I want to know
right.
how to do something, I would go to the Google my phone and I'd get on YouTube and I'd go, hey, how do you hit a low hook around a tree with a 4-iron or something? You know, if I wanted to
Right.
use a golf analogy, or if I was shooting hoops, like how do you extend your range on your 3-point jump shot? And they would show you how to do that. And the games I was playing at the time, the mobile games, well, they were in their infancy, and there was no one telling you this stuff. And I thought, I really like this, but there's no one to tell me how to do something. So why don't I go and make a video on how to do this one thing that I know how to do? And yeah, that was basically it.
Oh,
That's
all
what
right.
that's what
Okay.
jumped me.
Okay. So all right. Well, let me ask you this then.
Just one sec, one sec,
Now I'm familiar
one sec.
with. Okay.
Oscar, can you close the door and bring the dog in? Why is he barking? Righto, fair call. Dog's a dickhead. Keep going.
Okay. Fair
Keep
enough.
going.
Fair enough. So I mean that sounds good. I mean, most content creators, I feel like so far, I hadn't interviewed a ton of people, but with PowerBang and me, and then you, it sounds like we all kind of wanted to help people. That's kind of
Yeah,
what the driving force was to get into content creation. Because I mean,
exactly.
if if you're trying to put out videos, to show people these things, it's essentially helping people. And I mean, that's exactly what so far what everybody I've talked to has said. So the interest to help people is one of the
I
things
want to
that
point
drove
out
you that
just
way.
quickly
Now,
that when I started, there was no career path in YouTube. Like I started
right,
because it was fun and like I thought there was something there. I'd never started and thought I really want to do this for a living. That didn't come till a lot later. I mean, my first YouTube videos were
right.
50 minutes long, Goon, on like things that you
Oh
could
my
do.
God.
Oh, it was crazy. 50 minutes long on something that would take 2 minutes to do a video on now. But no one told us what to do. So you just started and threw shit at the camera and wait until you got something that people would look at. Anyway, there you go.
Oh wow. Well, now let me ask you this. Now I know you've got at least two channels that
Hmm.
I'm familiar with. Do
Yeah.
you do you have more than that?
Oh, I've got a few sneaky ones with like 4 or 5K subs that just sit there, and every once in a while I do enough on them
Okay.
to get them monetized, but not really, no, just the two.
Oh, okay. Well, so the early days of Bushka are on your main channel, which was the World of Tank Blitz, correct?
Yeah, yeah, World of Tank Splits, that's right.
Yeah, because like if you go back on my channel, I mean, dude, there's some
Yeah,
there's some really
yeah,
there's some old gold there,
you
baby.
don't want to watch it
So
again, man. It hurts. It hurts right in the
yeah, yeah,
feels.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I might have to take a journey on your channel one of these
Oh,
days, and
don't, man. Don't. You would so soft spoken young Bushka just talking about the
hey,
tanks. And this is the tank. It's really good, and you'll enjoy it if you do this, and then do this, and maybe
And
try
then,
this. It's like the
God,
punchline
no
never gets there,
enthusiasm.
man. Yeah, no, it's
I got
pretty
you,
wild.
man. But still, I mean, that's just developing, and you can go
Yeah,
back and look at those, and it's kind of fun, I think, in a way. You
yeah,
can kind of laugh at yourself too
yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
But with that, all right. So let's shift gears a little bit. What job did you work before you got into creation full time? Now I know we've surpassed that divide. I mean, with that question, because you obviously are a full time creator now. So like before that, what did you do?
I never
What
really
did
had a
Bushka do?
career. I was in real estate, but that was more something that was just the family business. That was all there was to it. But before that, I was a musician for a lot of years, where I made absolutely no money, but had a great time. I worked for DOCS, which is the Department of Community Services at some point, which is basically in a home for autistic kids. I ran
Right.
around doing all kinds of different things, like mobile tech support when everyone didn't know what the hell was going on with the internet. I worked for AOL. I did a
Oh
lot
wow.
of different things, basically, and the only real thing I wanted to do before that was play music and go surfing. Like, that was what I mostly did growing up, and my career was very much spoken to by, like, if the swell was good. Like, I was going to go for a wave instead of going to work. But yeah, no, it all worked out.
I actually know a guy like that.
Yeah,
That literally worked just enough to pay his bills and
exactly.
surfed the rest of the
Until I
time.
got
Now,
married. And then, yeah,
ah,
it's,
motivation changed.
yeah, the girl
Yeah.
wasn't putting up with that crap, man. Like, there's no way. When we first started going out, my wife and I, she's like, "What do you do for a living?" I was saying, "Oh, I do mobile tech support," which was another word of, like, I had an ad in the paper. That's how people used to find you. And I would go to
Mm.
someone's house, fix their crap, and they'd pay me money, and then I'd go. And if I was not feeling like it, I just wouldn't turn up that day. And she was just like, "Is that even a job?" And I'm like,
Oh my
yeah, no,
God.
it's a high-paying, big power job. I'm all across it." So we had to adjust our sights up a little.
A little bit higher. I got you. I
Mm.
got you. So, with that being said, obviously at some point you made that jump to full time creator. Now, for one, you know, was there a certain goal you reached to feel safe for that leap? Was it hard? I mean,
No, I don't feel
what
safe now,
what
man.
made you
Like, I don't think
what?
you ever feel safe. What made me do it was my wife, basically. I got to the point where I think I've told you this story. I don't know, but for those of you who
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
yeah, we're
right.
moving house, and I paid for the removalists in cash, and she's like, "We don't have that cash. Where'd that cash come from, buddy?" And I'm like, "Oh, sit down. I got to tell you something." She's like, "Oh my god, he's going to say what? I don't know. I'm running off with the secretary. I'm selling drugs on the side. I don't know what's going on." And I said, "I'm a YouTuber." She's like, "You what?" And then I kind of came out of my shell, but because before that I was like scurrying around, like hiding it, like trying not to let people see that this is what I was doing with my spare time. And
Right.
then once I came out in the light with that, and she started taking that on board, she said to me, if I had the ability to do something and people paid me to do it and I loved doing it, you wouldn't see me for dust. You got to go and do this. Like, so go and do it for a living. And so she really was the impetus to jump off and do that. So power
So
to the
she,
girl.
and it sounds like she encouraged you,
Oh, tremendously.
but I do, man. We both know too, though, that she gave you a deadline.
well,
Either this works or this doesn't by
well,
this time.
well, she does, but she did, but it was more of a I don't know, it was a moving feast, but it was it was something that I shuffled around a bit, and there was also a lot of flexibility in it, as in, if I was doing that, I was also taking on a lot more responsibility at home with Junior,
Mm,
drop offs,
mhm.
pickups, everything was down to me with that. And that's fine. It's part of the deal. And it's one of the reasons why, even now,
Right.
there is certainly a limitation on, you know, I treat this as a 9 to 5 job. When I finish at 5, that's it. I get a lot of people coming up and saying, "Can you cast scrims on a Sunday?" I'm like, "Dude, Sunday is out, man. Like, weekends are done. This is my nine to
Right.
five. Yeah.
Right. Right. And that's okay, man. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to set those rules and guidelines, and that way, you can still have some time with the family, and
That's the
that's something
important
that,
stuff, man. That's the important
yeah,
stuff. And it's hard to get
right.
hard to get, like, you can get caught up on deadlines and like views and subs and all that kind of thing, and there's a point where it becomes just not dollar productive kind of thing. Like, you're working your 13th or 14th hour of the day, and your content that you're turning out is crap because you're tired and you're cranky
tired.
and
Right.
yeah, like you gotta cut it down and just say, the day is done, I'm moving. Like, you can't chase it.
Right. And bro, we definitely don't want a tired Bushka. I like that full steam
The
ahead
potato,
Bushka
mate.
that I get
Yeah,
all the time. I
the
love
potato.
it. I love it. If you listen, here's the thing, guys. I've been around Bushka for days in LA, and this man, I'm telling you, he is hilarious to hang out with. He is the life of the party. He is real. He is Bushka, and
There's a lot of him,
this
that's
is
for
him.
sure.
When you see him on his videos,
Pound for
that is him.
pound. There's a lot of pounds there,
Right.
baby.
There's no persona that he's putting on. That's him. So I like that.
You're a
like
lovely
that
man,
about
Good. Thank you for
Bushka.
saying so.
All right. So, what is the most difficult thing, in your opinion, about being a full-time creator?
What we were talking about before, being able to step away and cleanly and concisely just say, that's it, I'm done. And that's something I still struggle with. And like, it'll get to 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I'll be like, I'm just going upstairs to do a thumbnail, hun. She's like, because she knows that 9 or 10 o'clock, and I've talked to PB about this, like, when we're in LA, and he says, like, he'll do this thing where he goes upstairs again and won't finish till like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. That guy's like a machine. Like, I don't know how he churns that much content. Like, if you want to see a guy that works, he works.
Yeah.
Like, it's crackers. But I'm not cut out that way. If I do that, I just don't produce anything worthwhile late, and I can't play. I know, Goon, you've seen the results. The night potato, it's a real thing. Like, I'm an old man. I just fall to bits. And that's the hardest thing for me, is spotting the point where anything past here is just a diminishing return. Your value's going downhill. Like, you can't just throw hours at something. It's got to be good hours, and that's important.
Yeah, I gotcha. So it's just basically for you, it's just that saying no, enough's enough, and
Exactly.
disconnect. That's
Exactly.
That's the hardest
The
part.
disconnect's tough.
Because for me, I still work a regular job, so I mean, I clock
Exactly,
out,
man. Yeah.
and I go home, and I don't think about that no more. But when you're at home doing content, your home is your office, and you're always thinking about work.
Exactly. It's tough, man. Kudos to you. I know what it's like to do this while working a full-time job, and it drains the energy out of you. It's hard to really bring it.
Sometimes, yeah. There's definitely times that I've definitely got to amp myself up, drink some G Fuel, whatever it takes.
There's a sponsorship, segue into a coupon or a code.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Look, here we go. And by the way, let's get these.
I ordered some of those the other day. They don't sell them in Australia.
Let's go.
Thumbsucks, baby.
No. Wait a minute.
Or they're just tiny
while
willy warmers.
Let's get this case.
Let's sell some cases. Shift units, Goon.
Code Goon, baby. Code Goon. But look, yeah. I always think about content creation, though. I mean, honestly, and it's the fact that when you do this, you got to enjoy it. I mean, for me, I think about it all the time, and it's because I do enjoy it. As far
of course.
As the successful part of it, I'm still grinding that, but hey, we're working on it. But I still do.
You gotta have that hobby too. It's a hobby first, like that. It's your hobby first. Yeah, I agree. The same for me. Like, I like the actual act of the content creation. I enjoy that.
Right.
If it's a dream job because you're doing what you really like doing, it wouldn't be that otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, so I definitely understand that. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to switch off, because you're always chasing that angle. Like, you love it so much.
God, man, you never cease to amaze me, man. I'm telling you. All right, so let's segue into this question, because, I'm trying to contain this to 30 minutes, but we're probably going to surpass that.
Yeah, you're screwed. You need to cut heavy, mate. Don't be ruthless.
No, this is all good stuff, man. I can't cut. So look, all right. So who content creator wise, inspired you the most? Like,
A guy called the
you know,
Mighty Jingles. The Mighty Jingles.
I
Paul
I
Charlton.
know this dude,
Paul
bro.
Charlton.
I know this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Mighty Jingles is a dude who's even older than I am.
Right.
Like legends say, he may be over 50, and he's a former bloke who used to be in the Navy, and he has a channel about World of Tanks. He also goes into
Yep.
all other kinds of military related RPG style games like World of Warships, War Thunder, all this other kind of stuff. And I identified with him. I played a lot of RPGs over the years, like from EverQuest, Dark Ages of Camelot, all the way through to games like World War II Online, Battleground Europe. Right back in the day, I used to play Diablo and all this. So I identified with the kind of things that he liked, and he was a lot older than me, and he had a channel that was just bonkers successful. And
Right.
all he was doing was just being himself. And I was like, I like what he does. He's got a very dry English sense of humor. He's well-spoken. He is definitely knowledgeable about his subject matter, and he presents really well, and he's good at editing and all this kind of thing. I thought, that's something that I could do. And if he can do that, why can't I? And he was definitely an inspiration. I met him when I go to over a thing called Tank Fest in the UK at Bovington. It's the Tank Museum in Bovington in the UK. And I've been over there a few times,
Right.
I think 3 or 4 times now for wargaming with the other game that I do.
Right.
And
I've seen the tweets.
yeah, they've flown me over there, and we've had a great time. And I got to meet the Mighty Jingles, and he was every bit as lovely in person and stuff. But he's the guy who really inspired me to kick it off and have a crack.
Did he affect your style of content?
Certainly,
Or did he
yeah.
affect
I
you?
copied him. Like imitation being the greatest form of flattery. Like when I first started,
Right.
the videos I did were a lot like the Mighty Jingles. I was inspired. I just thought everyone did really long videos. So I started, and like nowadays it's got to be a 10-minute video. That's how we shift units. That's how we get ad rev. That's how you get a video after the video. That's how we nail the algorithms. Man, back then, 55-minute video, like on one
Right.
tank in World of Tanks Blitz. Think of like taking the AKM and doing a video on the AKM for 55 minutes. Like that, if you want to learn how to like just rabbit on about anything at all, start doing hour-long videos about one topic and watch your style grow. Like you have to learn to talk. Yeah, but so that he was my
Exactly.
inspiration. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And I mean, I was going to ask you about your style of content, but that kind of puts it in perspective, honestly. And I remember that guy, dude. He was a hoot. I used to watch some World of Tanks stuff. I played World of Tanks on the console.
Yeah, I saw
Very
that.
briefly.
I saw
Had
that.
a
I
few
saw your videos on it. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. But I mean, when I switched over to mobile, which was Clash of Clans, I just kind of like stopped because, like, you know, you're paying
has the
money
time?
out of this
Man,
end, and
yeah.
then you're paying money out of, and
And
it's
plus,
like, it's
like,
a-
you don't have time, man. Like, if you've got a job
No,
and you're trying to create content and you're trying to play the game that you're creating content on, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to you're going to play while you sleep? Yeah, it's just not possible.
right. Well, I didn't sleep a lot, which I don't sleep a lot now. But
Really?
I think, yeah. I mean, I honestly played like before I started doing content. Man, I've always been hooked on video games and
Yeah.
competitive a little bit. I mean, you know what competitive was back then? It was like GameBattles.com, and we were #1 in this game, which it doesn't matter. But I mean, we thought it was the best. You know.
Yeah,
so,
I'm
like,
with you, man. We used to do the same for Counter-Strike. When Counter-Strike first came out,
right.
the QGL, the Quake Gaming League, used to have rankings, and we'd all try and get ranked at the top of the QGL, and I only even made it to the top 10 a couple of times. But that was like, if you guys are wondering why I can play a shooter and why Goon can play a shooter and stuff like that, we were playing shooters when we were your age, but like we've been playing that long. Like it's no accident that a lot of the older guys in the scene can actually still play the games because, yeah, it is not the purview of just young kids to play video games, man. This is your hobby.
Right.
This is what you do. Like, I always find that fascinating. I don't know if you get it as well. Like these kids saying, what are you doing playing games? Like there is some puritanical thing where you're meant to be unhappy in your life and just married to your job and not have any outside thoughts or influences. It's just so narrow-minded as a point of view. Like everyone in the world is not limited by, you know, their age or their demographic. Go and do whatever the F you want. Like,
Right. I get that too, man. I get that too. The thing is, age discrimination is a thing, and for us, it does happen. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it's the way it is.
but there's plenty of people out there like us, Goon. They're the ones we've got to reach.
Right, right. I agree with that too. There's a lot of gamers out there our age.
Well,
that
what
are
I meant
hungry
was
for
there's a lot of
content.
red hot spunks who are quiet and gentle lovers. That's what I was saying. We've got to reach those people.
Oh, we gotta read. Okay. Well, let me. All right. Well, now I know what you meant. All right. So
Swipe right
all
for
right, so,
Goon. That's right. Let's
next question.
go. Yeah.
Next question.
Next question.
All right. So, all right. This is going back to content creation because I mean, like I said, this video is more about that. I mean, if you guys
Yeah.
thought we were gonna get the hidden PUBG secrets from Bushka on this video, not necessarily. We're looking at Bushka in a different angle here. But how many hours average? And I mean, this is per video and not necessarily for both channels in a day, but for one video, because I know when I look at your videos, I know that there's a lot of times you've got lots of games in that video. So how much time do you think, combined with editing plus the amount of games you played, does it take to make one Bushka video?
I mean, the easy answer is just looking at the games and dividing it. But the truth of it is, a lot of the stuff that goes into it is not done at the same time. Like, it's like saying, if you're a builder, how long does it take you to learn to build a house? Whereas, like, you're learning how to do bricklaying, or you're learning about a certain amount of engineering and the architectural construction side of things. So, like, testing in training rooms to find out the damage of a weapon isn't particularly something that I do to do the M416 video I did last night, for instance. But I did that ages ago with people in training rooms, and it took hours and hours and hours. So quantifying that is really hard, because that wasn't just for a video. It was to find out and learn things. Right. And likewise, like when I did I got a notebook, right? And when I did the video that I did for the M416 last night, I don't know if you can see this, right? But there's like just pages, and I know you can't see this now, but I'm going to show it to you, and pages of notes. Show it to me, baby. And storyboarding and going through and making a list of how I'm going to talk about it. And that took hours. The preparation on that took hours, because I knew it was a video that would cause a lot of comment. And then I'd say probably just game-wise, for a simple chop-up and tactical video, you're looking at probably about 3 or 4 hours of gaming, and then about 2 hours of content creation. But it's never that simple. If I could just break it down into chunks of time, it'd be easy. But I just play, and then I don't know about you, Goon, but the way I do it is pretty organic. I'll play, then I'll get all the video together, and I'll start cutting it into smaller bits, and then I'll try, and as I'm editing, I'll start getting a theme for things that are happening in the game, and I'll say, oh, look at that happened there, that also happened there. Let's put those together. Bang, there's my video. But I didn't go into the game saying I'm going to do a video on how to rotate through a late open field circle. It just happened because it happened in a couple of games. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
so I didn't answer your question even a little bit, did I?
Well, no. I mean, we're looking at an estimated 5 hours.
Yeah, probably 5 hours. Let's call it 5.
And that's. Are you still doing videos for World of Tanks?
Man, I've struggled so much, and I've been getting a lot of heat over on the Blitz page. I've only been posting like a video a week kind of thing over there for the past month or so, because at the end of the day, as we were talking about before, it's really hard to cut, and I was working very long days. And what I found was, well, I can't cut my family. I'm actually getting a lot more revenue from the Pubg channel than the Blitz channel, with sponsored videos and all that kind of thing. And to then turn around, I can't cut that. So I ended up like, it's hard to build something in a game that's that small. It's a lot smaller than Pubg. Like for Blitz, I was like the biggest YouTuber going around in terms of English spoken language for a long time. And very influential, successful. But its numbers aren't anywhere near Pubg. And so Pubg's a market. And as much as I love the game, I'm looking at it from the perspective of my family as well. Like, what is something that as a business I can do for a long time? Then it's tough to delegate and put that much time into the Blitz channel as well. I just, without ruining either my family life or not making Pubg videos. It's really tough, because that's my baby. That's the one that really got me there. And it really
Right.
hurts not to be producing daily content on that channel anymore. But the past couple of months, I just haven't been able to do it. I'm out of time.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like Powerbang said, like when juggling people, he said, you know, you're going to disappoint somebody, right? So he
Yeah,
said you try to disappoint people at opposite ends at different times, and so you don't disappoint them all the time. He's like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I mean, you know, the way you're doing it, you're juggling, juggling World of Tanks. Obviously, not to disappoint all the time. Give them a video from time to time when you can, but like you said, at some point something has to get cut. And as far as this is your job, the monetary end is coming from PUBG Mobile. So obviously, as a job, you have to provide for your family. So
Glad to still see you staying tuned to the video, guys. I know it's long, but let's talk about this giveaway. All you need to do really for this giveaway is follow my socials, and I'll be pasting a Gleam link with some information on how to win. You'll click on that link, and that link will take you to the giveaway, and you follow the instructions there, and it gives you several chances to win these items. So with that being said, let's get back to the interview.
you have to make that decision. I mean, that's just common sense. And if any of those guys that support you on World of Tanks Blitz seen this, they should understand that. They would be the same.
yeah. They're
If
pretty good
somebody
humans.
says, hey, you could stay at this job and make $5 an hour, but you could go at this job and make 20. What do you think's they're going for 20, bro?
Yeah, that's kind of it. Like, it's hard to look the wife in the face and say, because she says to me, "Are you looking after the tanks, guys?" I'm like, because it was very close knit. Like, one of the reasons, I mean, I don't know many people that have been able to go full time YouTube with 20,000 subs, but I was able to do it, and that's because they were so supportive. Imagine that, like having 20,000 subs and being able to do it as a full time job.
Right.
And like
That's crazy.
that is crazy. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people out there realize that, but the ad revenue from that on YouTube is nothing. Okay, compared to
No.
like,
No, they think we make enough money to buy sports cars.
oh,
Dude,
it's
I
mad.
can't tell you how many times I get begged for money on
Oh, me
comments,
too.
and I
Yeah,
don't
it's
even
insane.
have nowhere near the views you got.
Do you have a spare
like-
phone? Like, yeah, no worries. My phone is broken.
That's
Can I have a
just
phone? Ah,
Man, bro, Royal Pass this. Not only that, I'm tech support. How many DMs do you get on
right.
Discord?
It's not working.
Trying to get their account unbanned, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh my goodness,
I
bro.
feel bad for those guys because they're obviously young guys and they've been scammed. They're just too trusting and too gullible, and their accounts are now banned probably because the guys that scammed them sold it to a hacker, and it's so bad.
There you go.
Feel terrible for them.
There you go. Well, I mean, so yeah, so we'll move on with that. But that, yeah, dude, I totally understand, and that's a smart move to make on your part. I mean, taking care of your family is first and foremost.
Yeah.
And that takes 100% of your effort. So, all right. So now, as far as the content side of things, we're going to shift a little bit here and start talking a little bit about trips and events. And being that you're a full-time creator, as we know, you get to go on these trips and different places. So which trip or event would you say you enjoyed the most and why?
Probably I was in Vegas calling the Amazon Mobile Masters, and I'm not a drinker either, so I don't drink. So it's like not for a long time. So it wasn't that I went there and got hammered, but it was I got to. Okay, this is a funny story. I'll tell you the truth. This is
Well,
I've
come on with it.
got a really great mate in Sydney called Snake Eyes, otherwise known as Maxi, and he's a Russian bloke. And I was talking to Wargaming, and they're like, "We need you to call the Amazon Mobile Masters," because I've casted all over the place. I've been to the States, the UK, Europe, everything casting, but for tanks, not for PUBG Mobile. And they're like, "We need you to bring another caster along." I said, "I've got a great caster. I cast with him all the time. He's really good." His name's Snake Eyes.
Oh my God.
And they're like, "That's great. Bring Snake Eyes." And I'm like, "Okay." I get on the chat, and I'm like, "Maxi, you're going to Vegas." He's like,
Oh my
"Ripper."
God, dude.
So so I got
Wow.
to bring like my best mate as my co-commentator, and he played with me. Like, he was playing in the game all the time. And to be fair, he did have a bit of a following on my channel as my like sidekick, because he'd get just cranky and start yelling at people. He's typical Russian, like started abusing the humans as soon as things weren't going right, and he's like complete power gamer and loved it. So he turned up, and we went to Vegas together and did the whole strip, and went to Caesars and went and got burgers, and he got spanked on the ass and all that kind of thing by the sexy nurse who was the waitress, and it was just a big giggle.
Oh, wow.
It was great, and that was a really fun thing to be able to do. Quite different from the usual events. Like I mean, I've had a lot of fun going to Bovington, the Tank Fest. That's always a great giggle. I went over there
That
once.
looks awesome.
Yeah, it is good.
By the way, what red-blooded human man doesn't like a tank?
Mate,
I mean,
until
come
you've
on.
been to that thing, you are gonna you go there and they let you go on the press area, which is this little hill, and I live stream from it overlooking the yard. And as they're cruising around, they've got like T62s and 72s and M103s and all these old tanks as well, all the leveling restored World War I and World War II tanks. And the noise and the power as these things go past you, like Leopard A4s going 60 kilometers an hour past you with the smoke billowing out their ass. And then they fire the gun, right? And you feel like it's like a physical thing that goes through your body, like a big shudder right through your body. Like, it is incredible. It's intimidating as all hell, man. It's a crazy thing. And Wargaming's been brilliant for me. They've really let me do a lot of stuff like that. And I've been lucky enough to then go and, I mean, in terms of just fulfilling dreams, the PUBG Mobile Superstar Showdown was nuts. Because my other big love's basketball, and I got to meet professional basketballers who I watch every day with Junior when the season's on, all that kind of stuff. So
Dude,
I've been incredibly lucky.
Who they were, man.
Yeah, I
had
did.
no idea.
I did. I was all over it.
I was completely clueless.
I used to watch Ben Simmons' dad. Like, I used to watch his dad. He's Dave Simmons was a great bruising power forward slender for the Melbourne Tigers, and I used to watch him versus my team, the Sydney Kings, all the time. So I had a good chat to him about that. And I was really hoping his dad was there actually, so I could meet Dave. But yeah, it didn't end up happening.
Yeah, I was just like, hey guys, like, I have no idea who you are, but nice to meet you.
Well,
That's
Benny Simmons signed my son's rep singlet, so because he plays in the rep team here in Sydney, and they won the state championships last year. I was very proud of him. So he was stoked. He was absolutely stoked.
Wow. Well, I mean, if you're into that, man, and like I said, I liked it just because I got to meet all my friends, man. We talk to each other, online or play games together, but actually getting to meet each other, that made my day. But yeah,
it was awesome,
so, I mean,
dude.
If you were,
it was epic.
And I'll tell you that these trips are epic. They are amazing.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about NASCAR racing other than
I saw that. I had no idea.
Like after that, bro, I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan.
It gets you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was really gutted, Goon, that the coronavirus came along. That sucked.
Yeah, because there was some trips planned, and anyway. With that being said, though, I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So let's get back on it. We'll get back on it, guys. Sorry, we're reminiscing. Great times though. So that was your best trip. That sounds like awesome fun there to be with a mate and to doing the casting, having some brews. I mean, hey, what's not to love about that in Vegas of all places?
In Vegas, just one second. You're out of sync. Your video and your audio's out of sync. Is it chugging on your end at all?
No.
Okay, hang on one second.
It's probably my phone or something. I don't know. As long as yours is okay, we're good.
But it's more that your lips. Are you recording your own face as well?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Don't worry, because the audio will be coming through on my end in time, so that's fine. You can adjust that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm recording. Yeah, all I need is really your cam and the audio, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the Vegas trip is awesome. How many countries have you visited for content creation? Or because of being in that business.
I've been to Minsk 3 times. I've been to the UK 3 times for Tank Fest, maybe 4 times. I went to New York to cast. I went to Vegas to cast. I've done stuff in Sydney here, which was actually pretty cool. I've never been overseas for PUBG to cast. That was going to happen for their 2nd anniversary thing. I was going to get to cast Shoutcast, the 2nd anniversary thing. I think that was going to be in LA as well. They seem to do their stuff in LA.
I was going. There was a big VIP event.
That would have been it. Yeah, I was going to be casting the VIP event. Yeah, shoutcasting it. Yeah, I was gutted, man. I was really looking forward to that. I've cut down tremendously on this stuff just because. Okay, I'm a sook, but I'm 6'5". I'm in Australia. When I went to Minsk last, it took 40 hours to get there, right? And then, I flew to, I think it was Bangkok, then from Bangkok to Vienna, and then from Vienna to Minsk with layovers and all that. And they're not flying me first class, baby. And and then you get there after a 40-hour flight with my legs up around my earlobes because, I'm not 6'5" because I got a long head. And then you're there for 2 days kind of thing. And then you're back doing the same thing on the way home. So it's not, when you're like, I wish I had a job where I traveled the world. And then you do it.
Right.
And seeing the people in the event is great. But while I'm away, like, who's making content? Nobody. So before the content, before I go, I'm churning content like stupid hours.
Me too.
And when I come back, I'm churning content, stupid hours. And in between, in between, there's literally 4 days of flying time. 4 days flying or sitting in an airport for me. That's just, so, it's just not dollar productive.
That's glamorous. That's glamorous, man.
It ain't glamorous, baby. It sure as shit isn't glamorous when you've been in the same socks for 2 days because you forgot to pack a spare pair.
No.
And you're just sitting there and you're like, I want to go in my own bed. Just let me alone. Yeah, it's not the lifestyle that a lot of people seem to think it is.
I know. Dude, people just don't understand. But anyway, as a creator to another creator, I get it. What's the coolest place, man? The coolest city that you?
New York, man. New York is awesome. I went to the Met. I went to Madison Square Garden and saw the Knicks play. I went to a bunch of jazz clubs. Had a big feed at Gallagher's Steakhouse. Did the whole ferry around the Statue of Liberty. They had a huge event on the Enterprise, the aircraft carrier there, which we went on, and that was amazing. And I'm like I went to the NBA store. I mean, New York is amazing. I went to Tompkins Square Bagels, mate. Best bagels I've ever had in my life. Ripping. I did a lot of stuff in New York that was just fantastic. Like, it's such a difference. Plus, my son at the time, my eldest, was living in New York. So I took my old man along as well. And we had me, Tom, and Tiger, my old man and my eldest, who's now 30. And we just spent 5 days hanging out and going to shops and eating and watching ball games. And then I cast a tournament. And it's a true story. That tournament, they had massive internet issues, right? Massive internet issues.
Oh, God.
And so,
really?
Yeah, I had to cast it for 11 hours straight solo. And it was not fun. And by the end of it, I was sweating balls and I couldn't talk. It was a fun time. It was a good experience though, but New York for sure.
Okay. I've never been. My wife's been, but I might have to keep that in mind. All right. So streaming versus making videos, which is your favorite?
Oh, streaming's awesome. Streaming is brilliant. I'd rather just stream every day. I just don't think that you and like it's more lucrative. Like you get donations and you make more money. Like the videos make such crappy amounts of cash.
Now come on. We just make all this money, Bushka. Come on, man.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, I can't lie.
Revenue just
yeah. All the revenue I get from those videos is great, but if I stream, I get to buy a second Bugatti. Like it's really getting up there. Yeah.
And a Lear,
No, Learjet. Yeah.
For the Lear,
mate. It's nutty. Yeah, so
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
pretty crazy. People, I don't think understand just how yeah, you get a lot more money. Like I'll give you an example. So I did a video the other day, and I don't care. I'll tell you my stats. The clips YouTubers don't want to see, right? And it's had
Right.
25,000 views, right?
Right.
And it was published 2.5 days ago. That's made me $37.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, so
That's good.
25,000, and that's good CPMs.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
really
Like,
good CPMs because
yeah.
my demographic
Yeah.
actually watches ads that they can sell stuff to. They've got
Right.
money. A lot of the kids don't
Hmm.
have those kind of CPMs. So that's
Right.
25,000 views. It'll probably do 30,000 views by the end of the week and make me like $45. Now I'm doing one of those a day. So that's a base wage of $220 if I hit that mark from every video that I
Right.
do for 5 days. That ain't paying jack.
Glamorous, baby.
Just
Glamorous. That's glamorous life,
yeah,
baby.
yeah. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like. I'll tell you this, Bushka. I love people that I've talked to know I love editing. I like it because the edit part, it's kind of like, when you put it together, it's unfinished, but when you finish it and hit that render, and it
hmm
comes out, it's like a little miniature masterpiece, so to speak. And I like that
yeah.
feeling
I like that.
when I finish a video. But I've been streaming recently, and for me, I do like because when I'm streaming, which I'm not a big streamer or nothing like that, I just do a few when I can. But the thing I like about it is I'm interacting
Yeah,
with my
exactly.
my supporters, and I'm able to play with them. Unlike the video, I can talk with them in comments, but I could throw up these squad codes, and boom, I get a squad full of Goonies, and we go play.
Yeah,
And I don't stress about whether we do good or bad. I just go play, and I
that's
like
the
that.
thing.
I
It's a
like that.
live performance element. I mean, I as a muso,
Right.
I always loved live performance. I played in front of a lot of people over the years. I played to tens of people, Goon, tens, and they really didn't care. But
Tens.
I loved the live performance element and aspect of it. And I think a stream is like that, where you get to just like try and make people giggle and try and entertain them and build a narrative as you're going along, and you have to pluck it out of thin air like casting a scrim or something. You've got to find something to talk about, whether it's the color of the pan over their
Right.
ass or, the fact that they're snaking and rubbing their ball sack along the ground. Like, you've got to find a narrative. And
Right.
and I really enjoy that, telling a story on the fly, and plus, it's just so much easier than to do a 2-hour stream. Then, like, it takes a lot less time, and plus you earn more money. I should probably do more streams. Like, I'm thinking about
Well,
this.
well, I mean, you were at one time, man. I could roll up and play with you anytime because I knew I'd catch you on stream.
Yeah.
But man, it's been tougher right here lately. I don't know. I hadn't seen your streams as much, so
Well, it's like I've got to
I'm
make videos. It's funny. It's just how
right.
it is, man. Like, some videos.
Vicious cycle.
Exactly. Onwards and upwards. First world
Yeah.
problems.
All right. So with that being said, I'm getting to my last question, but not the last question in general. I've got a ton of questions here. Not a ton, but probably like one more page of questions. But these questions are probably going to be funner to answer than mine. But the Goonies in my Discord have some questions. But here's my last question for you, Bushka. If you could change one thing about World of Tanks Blitz and or PUBG Mobile, what would it be, and why?
Well, not for one thing that's both, but for World of Tanks Blitz, that they don't sell power. That would be nice. They sell power. Like, they sell better tanks for more money, right?
Oh,
You know how it is. There's a lot of
yeah,
games that do it. And
yeah.
I would love for them to stop doing that. Like, and they've
It's
really...
a bad business model.
It is. It causes this crazy power
Right,
creep to the point where they're constantly just
right,
upping everything. Just everything keeps getting better and better. It just pisses me off.
right.
Um,
Bigger wallet does the more damage,
the
or
Wallet
whatever. We'll
Warrior, the
see.
Gold Warrior.
Yeah, right,
And
right.
for PUBG Mobile, just the cheating, man. The cheating, it's just depressing. It really is. Like, I'm looking at doing a video at the moment where I go back and trace all of the people that I've reported on stream and in video over the past 6 months.
That's work. You're gonna do some work there.
Yeah, but
That's gonna take.
I'm so up in arms about it. I don't know. Because on the one hand, like, it feels like punishing PUBG Mobile. But I know, and you know, after talking to Ocho and people inside the business, they're not enjoying this. They're not trying to make, it's this weird thing where it's a mobile game that's exploded. That's just exploded in popularity. And the tyranny of those numbers is that it makes it very hard to police. So everyone's frustrated, and you get these pricks that just ruin everyone's experience. Like, I've been killed in solos this season 5 or 6 times, and my numbers look shit because I'm dying to guys that I can't possibly beat. Like, they're watching me through a hill, and then they press a button, and I get shot in the head, like at 150 meters. Like, what are you meant to do to this? And so I go offline, and I'm like, I want to just scream and rant. I know, I'll post it and tag in PUBG Mobile, and I'm like, well, like, they don't know what's going on. They know. It's really frustrating. I'm interested in this verification idea. Yeah, they hate it. They hate it.
Because it's got to be frustrating as a game producer not to be able to police your game. I mean,
yeah, exactly. The conspiracy theory stuff is nutty, Kugoon. Like, there's people out there who think that they're selling their hacks, but they're selling their hacks.
Come on!
I know, it's insane. It's this,
that's dumb, man. An esports game is not going to try to sell cheats. I mean,
no,
they to keep their game esports worthy, they have to try to police it, and there's
a lot of ignorance out there too. Like, people will see, like, oh, he's got 13 seasons, this guy, and he's got all the outfits and he's hacking. Well, let's be honest, the guy is probably not in control of his account anymore. Someone's probably stolen it, and then they've sold it to one of the hackers who are now using it, because hackers like to play in nice clothes just as much as the next bloke does. And then when that account gets banned, they'll just spend another $40 and go and get another account because it's their hobby and they don't care. And that's basically where so many of all the people that you see, community service announcement, if you see a person in a Twitter feed, in an Instagram feed, in a YouTube comment box saying, click here for free M416 skin or win 500 UC by signing up here, they are trying to take your account. If they get your social account, they get the account that's linked to PUBG Mobile, they get your account, they sell your account, done. That account will get banned, and then you've got nothing, and they move on to the next poor person. Don't do it.
And then I get a DM.
Yeah.
I get a DM.
Yeah.
He gets a DM.
Oh man, it's freaking heartbreaking. But that'd be the one thing I'd change. And the PUBG. Have you seen the PUBG PC thing they're doing about verification?
The PUBG.
Oh, so PUBG patch 7.2 and PUBG PC. They're bringing in a thing where for ranked games, they have ranked games now that they're bringing in, much like we have our tier system, right? If you want to play in like diamond tier games or ace, or you want to get up there, you have to have a phone number to verify your account. And if that phone number gets banned, you can't use that account again. Which to me would be amazing. I mean, Korea does that stuff. South Korea does that. They have like a gamer ID that you have to be able to play the games. So they can physically identify you. I don't know if we'd get away with that in the land of the free over here in Oz or America, but you'd do your best. I'd like to see it brought in. Yeah, I'm sorry, Goon. Just keep talking. I'll shut up.
Look, I'm not.
You're going to have to be ruthless with this. You need to cut the crap out of this, man. This is way too long. 30 minutes, no one is going to watch, and we're at 54. You need to cut all the stuff about me talking about my personal life. Cut it!
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, do your best.
This is good stuff, Bushy.
Good stuff.
All right, so.
Okay, Goonies, out of concern for time, we're going to stop the interview right here at about the hour mark. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the rest of the interview. So if there's people that want to see the rest of that interview, there's some really funny community questions in that part of the interview. So I would advise you to go check it out. I won't put it as I'll just put it in a link in the description of the video. You can click on it and finish the interview because it is worth a watch. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure and get into that mobile gaming core giveaway. Like I said, if you watch this video to this point, you'll know how to enter. And with that being said, thank you so much, Goonies. Hit that button. Watch these videos. That's all.